It's Wednesday, the 18th of September 2019. I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of some UK and US stocks. Let's get straight into it. Hi guys, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms. And if you check the description section below, you'll see a link to my mailing list. Just get me to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not going to ask you again, man. I'm 2 away from 1,000 subscribers, and then I release my free training course on how to trade stock markets and shares. So just hit that subscribe button so I can get to 1,000, man. I need to get to 1,000. And I've also got a Discord group, chat room called Pip Talk. It's a chat room for like-minded traders and investors to talk about anything and everything to do with trading and investing. All right, so this week I've got some UK and US stocks to cover. Now, before I cover most of these stocks, I want to do it the other way around this time. I'm going to cover JetBLue straight away. Now, I've already made a video about JetBLue. I'll put a link in the right-hand corner, whatever that is, to JetBLue. I made a video about it over the weekend, and lo and behold, after I made that video, all that craziness happened with the oil tanker in Saudi, and oil prices skyrocketed. So, a little bit of economics for you, a little economics class. If the supply of oil goes down, prices go up. So when the oil tanker was hit by, apparently it was Yemeni forces, I don't know about the geopolitical stuff, but there was a drone strike on the oil tanker, and that meant that I think there was like 20% of the world's supply of oil that was destroyed or something like that. So obviously the prices rise of oil, and that means every industry that has anything to do with oil, their costs go up, which is bad for them, so their share prices go down. So JetBlue, which is an airline, share prices went down when this happened. But as we know, this has happened to me before. It happened with BAE Systems with the inverted yield curve. Never trade based off of panic if you don't think it's something that can be resolved easily. Now, I thought this is something that could be resolved. And it was. Well, it hasn't been resolved yet, but oil. A lot of these countries have oil reserves, so whatever was lost can be resupplied to the market by other countries. Other countries can pick up the slack. That's the reason why there's OPEC, and I think that's what's going to happen. So I don't think this is a really big issue. And as you can see from JetBlue, prices went down. It sold off after the news of the oil tanker stuff going on. It sold off quite a lot, and now it's stabilized and it's coming back up. Because really, it wasn't a big deal as I thought. And see what I'm saying? So anyone that got in after the oil tanker thing issue, if anything, you could just see it as you bought JetBlue as at a discounted price, so which is a good thing. So, but still, everything I say is still true. I still think it's going up, based on all the reasons I said in that video. But let's get back to the UK stocks first. So first of all, I'm going to hit ASOS up. ASOS has been doing really well on the daily chart. You can see it's just been going from strength to strength, climbing. After hitting that support, as I said, it's hit that support at 2129, and then it started climbing. It's been climbing for almost like 20 days now, and it's started to. Right now, it's plateaued. It looks like it's going to do a little retracement. It can't climb forever. Obviously, it has to ebb and flow. The 180 simple moving average is flattening out, which is a good thing. If price crosses above here, then we're clear sailing. Like, it can really push up. But right now, I think this would be the best time to enter if you haven't entered already. If you entered already, then you made a decent profit based on when I told you to enter, which was when it broke out here. You would have made about 400 pips. But right now, it's oversold, overbought, and it looks like it's due a retracement. It might retrace back down maybe for a couple of days, but then I think it will carry on going up. But yeah, ASOS is a long for me in the long term. Looking good so far. Next one for me is Boohoo. Boohoo's a competitor of ASOS, but what I didn't account for, and I'm really upset about this, well, I'm upset with myself, was the Love Island factor. Now, the Love Island factor was a big factor as to why Boohoo's prices have been spiking. If anyone's from the UK, you know about Love Island, and what happens is that when a lot of these reality stars, show winners, leave Love Island. They get all these contracts from these online fashion agencies like Pretty Little Thing, Boohoo, ASOS, and most of them got snapped up by Boohoo, who own quite a few brands. They own Pretty Little Thing, they own Boohoo, I think they own a couple other fashion lines, and they've distributed all of these different social media influencers that won Love Island to be brand ambassadors for these different brands, and they have their own lines, and these have spiked the sales of these particular clothing lines, which in turn has meant their sales revenue has gone up, and so has their share price. So anyone that had the foresight to realize this was going to happen would have made a pretty penny off of Boohoo, but I didn't. I was watching Love Island like an idiot, but the jackass I am. But I didn't think to trade Boohoo, knowing full well that these influencers would cause a spike in their sales. But no, these things happen, eh? But I don't think this is the end of the story. It spiked up and then it retraced, and I think it's going to start climbing again. If you go into the yeah, look, the MACD doesn't look that promising, but I don't think this is the end of the story. I think it's got more to go. It's kind of retraced back to where it spiked up on the 5th of September. I think it could be due another rally up as well. So obviously on the daily chart, this key resistance at 250 was broken, but I think it will be going from strength to strength, and it will carry on climbing. Next one is NMC. NMC is an interesting one because it's really been the fundamentals that have really been driving the price up. If you know anything about NMC, there was a news that there could be a potential buyout, and that's what sent this stock rising, climbing for the last like 17 days or so, and it's climbed quite a lot. If you want to even go deeper than that, it's gone up nearly 1,000 pips in 21 days. That's the most it's climbed in the shortest space of time since the company started. I don't think there's ever been a time it's climbed that much in such a short space of time. But I think it could potentially carry on climbing. If you go to the daily chart, you can see that the point that it's at right now is a very important position, because there's a previous support twice and a resistance 3 times, and it could potentially be a resistance again or support. We don't know, but I'm leaning towards price breaking out to the upside. One, because the 180-day simple moving average is below the price and it's curving up, and two, because if you go to like the 2-hour chart, let's go to the 1-hour chart actually. It's looking, to me, it's looking like a pennant. And a bullish pennant is like a little wedge formation that goes like that, then it breaks out to the upside. So I might be wrong, but we just have to see how this plays out. But as I see it, it looks like it's a bullish pennant. So it will climb, make a little wedge, converge at one point, then break out to the upside again. And the 180-day simple moving average on the 1-hour chart is curving up. So everything's kind of telling me it's a bullish sign, but it could potentially be a resistance and sell off and retrace. So you just have to wait and see how this one plays out tomorrow. Next on my list is SPX. I actually deleted this off my list once before, but now it's back on. Because I'm temperamental like that. So this one had the previous support and resistance on this line. Resistance twice, support twice. And now it seems to be treating the 180-day simple moving average as some sort of support. So price is kind of staying above it. Now what I really want to see before I can really take a bullish move on it is that it's formed a kind of little bit of a channel here. Now I needed to break out of this upside here. So what I'm going to do is set an alert on this line. When it breaks out of here, then I can really say, okay, it's really on a bullish run right now. But right now it's just lingering on this support line. It's not really telling us much. But I do believe that the stock could rise. But it just needs to break out to the upside. That's all it needs. So right now I'm just waiting and seeing. But this one's tentative from me. But I think it's got good prospects to break up. Now off to the US stocks. One I'm looking at right now is JetBLue. I spoke about it already at the beginning, but I'm just going to go over it again. I've already made a video on it, so I'm not really going to go over it too much. Check that video out. My pick of September, my swing trades for September. JetBLue has a key support line here, which is hit once, twice, thrice. Climbing up. Sold off due to the oil tanker issue, but then it's basically regained everything it lost over the last 2 days. Because who would have thought it? Dumb money sold their shorted, but right now it's all coming back. So I just believe JetBlue is going to the moon. And so I see it going past 200, past 210 to be honest. And I'm really bullish on JetBlue, and the technicals really look good. I'm not going to go into too much depth. Once again, I made a video on it. Check that out. And another one I'm looking at, it's not on my watch list, but I'm going to, I should put this on my watch list actually, is Goldman Sachs. Now, this one I've been stalking like a hawk for some time. It's making an ascending wedge, hitting this resistance support, and it's made a kind of, it looks like it was retracing here, but what it looks like to me, it doesn't just look like it's retracing, it looks like it's making some sort of cup and handle. The 180-day simple moving average is curved underneath it, it's curving up. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, it's clear to me, well, it's clear to me to see that it looks like a cup and handle. This is a perfect position to enter a long position, because right now price has gone up, it's gone down, and now it looks like it's about to change direction. MACD, RSI also look like they're going to change direction. This is a great position to enter a long in, because right now, if you enter the long here, potential 1,300 pips, and you could set a stop loss maybe 500 pips below. So that's 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and I just believe that the next couple of days is just going to start climbing and break out of this resistance line. I think it just got tested here. Now it's going to break up for the cup and handle, and we've just caught it at the base of the handle. So this is the prime position to really enter a long position without taking too much risk, because the stop loss can be pretty tight. So this is one that I would say is a perfect time to trade right now, Goldman Sachs. And finally, Momo. I want some Momo money. Momo, that was a terrible, I don't know what I was saying. It's broken out. It's been a wedge pattern. It's been ebbing and flowing for some time. Broken out to the upside, consolidated above the previous resistance as a support. 180-day simple moving average is below price and curving up. Everything is telling me bullish, and this is the perfect position to enter a long. If you look at the MACD RSI not really telling us much, but price action is telling me quite a lot, and I'm pretty happy. The whole market is shifting up, to be honest, so it's a no-brainer for me. If you go down into the 4-hour, you see charts within charts. Looks like it's kind of making like a little bit of a wedge here as well, and I believe tomorrow it's going to break out to the upside. Great position to take a long position, set a stop loss just around here, and you're clear sailing. You could even set a trailing stop loss, let it climb up. But as you can see, the whole market seems to be going up, and it's no surprise, seeing as we all know that they've cut interest rates again, the Fed. So that's another market stimulus that's going to help prices go up. So I'm not surprised that all these stocks are longs right now. We know that we're preparing for a recession, but as it seems, the stimulus package that's being employed by both the Fed and the ECB seems to be working for now anyway. So right now, longs all around. Get your mind out the gutter, that's not what I meant. But yeah, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.